Yeah. Rufus and Craig Show. Rufus and Craig Show. Talking sports, culture, news. Giving you the latest views. Rufus and Craig Show. Rufus and Craig Show. Real talk every single day. Rufus and Craig Show. Rufus and Craig Show. Welcome to the show. Let's play.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Shout out to our sponsors, CR Tech Services, LLC, as well as Amici Builders, LLC. We appreciate you all weekly for your sponsorship. And, of course, we're always accepting more. Welcome to the show, Rufus. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. I don't have any complaints. But, you know, we have to just send our white water, send whatever out, white light, on a serious note, over to those who are in Gary, Indiana. It's my understanding that they have been without electricity for more than a week now due to those storms that have been going through. And predominantly that is in black neighborhoods in the city of Gary, Indiana. So they're expected to be back at full operation as of next Tuesday, the 25th. So I hope it works out. So shout out to any, do you call them linemen, that do the electrical work? Because a lot of trees
the
were
people
down.
that climb up on them poles, I think they are called linemen.
Yeah. So they have, you know, and I would have thought that they had underground infrastructure being where they are. But nonetheless, you know, giving credit to any neighborhoods, churches, or nonprofit or community organizations that have stepped up for those individuals. So just imagine being without power and, you know, people that have medical equipment, your food is going bad, and simply just being displaced. And this is not the economy that people can just jump up and say, okay, we'll go to the next state over and stay in a hotel for 2 weeks. So, you know, we want to definitely start the show sending you all well wishes and hoping that relief comes in soon, because it's not getting enough attention. You know, they're still
Correct,
without
because I
power.
haven't heard about it until just right now. So,
Yep.
yeah, it's not getting enough attention.
They are not. And the person we have in the White House is seen still going to rallies. In 2026, the second year into his presidency, doing that stupid dance and fake golf swing, but his ass is not on the ground.
The dance where he looks like he's jacking off too, man. Yeah, he needs to get this shit together. And the governor of Indiana needs to be on this as well.
Yeah. So we definitely want to start out to them. And we'll just ease into our second story. Elisa Good, you all, if you've heard about the 63-year-old woman who traveled from New York City over to Las Vegas to see a friend of hers, unfortunately, you know, she was found dead near the Las Vegas airport. And so, yeah, she was last seen on August 8th, right? And they said she left her friend's apartment around 12:45 p.m. that day, and she went to a CVS that was nearby, but she pretty much never returned. And so her family then reported her as missing on August 10th. And so, you know, these are another stories that don't get, you know, publicized because, unfortunately, well, fortunate but unfortunate, you know, she is an older black woman. And so, oddly enough, from her cellular device, her family members started getting text messages from somebody asking for gas money and Bitcoin. So, you know, as much as you can, you know, keep a tab on, I guess, is 62 considered a senior? 63 considered a senior?
No, 65 and up, but that's close enough.
Yeah.
Are there any details on the way she died or her death at all?
No, it just says her body was found in a drainage ditch near the Harry Reid International Airport.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's sad. I hate that.
Yeah. It showed that she was falling down the embankment. She was trying to get back up, and then she collapsed again. And, you know, when they did run surveillance footage or whatnot. So, again, no cause of death or the manner in which she died had been publicly established. So, as much as you can. And I think 63, we know they still running laps, man, turning cartwheels, backflips, and, you know, running marathons. So, that's not, as in 2026, we don't consider that necessarily an older age, right? Because they're still doing functionally things that those that are in their 20s are doing.
I think it depends on the person. It's all subjective because some people could be 63 and look young and vibrant, and some 63-year-olds could be fragile and frail, you know?
Yeah.
Like my mom is, I think my mom is 65, and yeah, she's changing. I'll say that.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine that's 65. He's a friend of mine, right? And he said, my organs are 65. I may look 40, but my organs are 65. So shout out to you, good 65, sir.
Right.
Sending you love and light as well. So yeah, keep up with your relatives as much as you can. And that's just really, you know, Whew. And going into our next story, this bitch, because I think about
Oh,
my mother,
here come the bitches.
and Monique Love Turnbull. I don't know if you've seen this, but I remember sharing it with you on Instagram. This is the lady who the news reported as hiding $3,200 when she was arrested in her vagina, but they said
Ah,
the news said in her body. So Monique Love Turnbull is a 31, year old Miami resident, and she was arrested in Martin County, Florida. Now, investigators have alleged that she was posing as a bank representative and she was targeting older residents. So,
okay.
according to investigators, she allegedly went to an elderly person's home and claimed that there was a problem with that person's bank account, And she allegedly told the victim that she needed to collect their debit cards. And, so the victim, of course, was suspicious and for the most part did a good job at contacting law enforcement. But she did a similar incident. And so they ended up catching this bitch on I-95. And so at this particular point, she faces charges that are related to allegedly defrauding an older victim and fraudulent use of a debit or credit card. And so it was during her jail intake, you all. It was during her intake process, thank you for that, that they discovered approximately $3,180 of cash that she had concealed in her
Up in that
body.
pussy. Up in
Dirty
that pussy.
bitch. Dirty, dirty bitch. And
I
so
know.
they pretty much connected that cash money being withdrawn from the older person's account. So, Rufus, oh my goodness, didn't mean to do that in you all's ear, but we are live. This is live. This is, I guess, can you say pre-recorded?
Well,
But it's
it's
live.
pre-recorded. We're live right here together, but it's gonna be come out pre-recorded, so you can edit it out if you need
I'm
to.
going to cut that out, man. I'm going to have to do a lot of editing. I'm going to have to work real hard today. But nonetheless, do you keep up with your mom's account?
No, I don't. I need to be added as a user in her accounts, but no, I don't keep up with my mom's bank account at all. She
Okay.
has some money right now that she needs. So I guess when you're on Social Security, you can only have a certain amount of money, and she has more than she's allowed to have. So she's wanting me to get this money and put it in my bank account, which I'm gonna do when I go down there. I just haven't
Hmm.
done it yet. So, but to answer your question, nah, I don't keep her money. But I think it's hilarious that this woman put $3,200 in her pussy. I think that's
Get to it.
hilarious.
Yeah,
That pussy must be rancid and wide.
that's a lot. It's amazing what well, I guess if it could give birth to a body, a little
I mean,
baby,
true.
just stuffing some money up there,
That's
as
true.
evil of a deed as that was,
I hope
boom.
she wrapped it up in some plastic or something.
We don't give a fuck about her. Fuck her. You preyed on the elderly, and there is just no place in this world for you, bitch. No place for
Touche.
you. No place for you. So, being that I do oversee my mom's finances, it's challenging. And so, yeah, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. And we'll just slide on into. I know Chris Brown wants to tell his ex housekeeper, fuck you, bitch.
Run it.
The federal judge, or the judge, and if you all, just to recap this case, so it was his former housekeeper, Maria Avila. She was working in his Tarzana home, the one we always see anytime something happens with Chris Brown. They go straight to his house and
That's the one
show
he be having
it.
everybody be showing up at the gate. Talking about, let me
Let me in. Yeah, so this happened in 2020. December, of 2020. So that was, right after COVID, right? And it was his dog that attacked. Dog name was Hades, of all names.
Oh, I love
Attacked the
that though.
lady. And so she had to undergo multiple surgeries, and the Los Angeles jury did award her approximately $12.9 million. Now,
Wow.
additional damages were awarded to her sister as well as her husband, and her attorneys have pretty much argued that Chris Brown has not made any effort to satisfy this judgment. And so, of course, they tried to get access to his financial records, and pretty much she's saying, okay, at this point, give me your tour money, because if you all don't know, he is on tour with Usher.
Run it.
um yeah, he's on tour with Usher, and he's pretty much said, oh no, I don't want to go with that. And so nonetheless, the judge has granted that, and so she can now pursue some of that money to satisfy her judgment. Rufus, what are your comments?
Well, good for her because if he got a judgment against him, and he didn't pay. He needs to pay, and he was on tour last year as well, solo tour. I think one of the highest grossing tours of the year. So he could afford to pay that woman her money. It wasn't her fault that them fucking dogs attacked her.
Yeah, yeah, and put your dog away. One thing people always say, well, dog owners do know their dogs. I would like to believe so, and if you don't, your ass does not need a dog. Okay, that's just plain and simple. But for the most part, you do know your raggedy ass dog. So Hades, fuck you. I hope they put you down. And Fifi, if you listen to this episode, we love Arya, we love Daisy, we love Shadow, and the other stepdogs I don't give a fuck about. But
I
those
do.
three we do love.
I
But Hades, you gotta go.
I do love the dog named Hades, though. I think that's dope.
Of course you would. Get him out of here. Gotta go. Let's pivot, man. We're gonna go to our next story. Woo! Somebody who did say get them out of here. Holly Berry. We love it.
Halle
Holly Berry,
Berry.
yes. She recently spoke candidly about her younger years, and she, for the most part, she said she faked her orgasms, and she is
Oh,
quoted as saying, sometimes you just want the
get it over
pounding to
with.
stop. Sometimes you just want the pounding to stop. And so, when you think about it, her comments are really about honesty and communication when you think about intimate relationships. And so, this conversation is relatable because many people have experienced situations where they pretended to be enjoying something when ultimately they really just wanted it to end. So, Rufus, what is your feedback? Have you ever faked something to get the person gone on?
This isn't about me. We're talking about Halle Berry, but she was married to Eric Benet, who is a known sex addict. So I guess she really didn't enjoy that sex with Eric Benet. But
Man,
to my
fuck
tech,
that. He forgiven. Unc is forgiven. He has
we
become
love Eric. We love Eric.
he and his string of pearls. We love the way he shows up in our life.
We
Fuck
love
that.
Eric. We
Give
love
it to
Eric.
that white boy. I'm sure she didn't enjoy that pounding on
She
Emilio or
might have. She
whatever.
got two kids by him, so maybe
Fuck
she did
that.
enjoy
Yeah. Fuck that.
it.
Whatever. What Jennifer Williams used to say on basketball. Whatever. Where's she from? I think she's from Jersey. But anyway,
Oh, I
no.
don't know.
Holly, we get it. We understand. I guess that's something that women do. I guess for us, well, how would we? No, we would always be caught if we faked anything. I mean, you can
Well, you can
clearly.
spit on somebody, spit on their back, do it from the back, spit on their back, act like you
Okay,
busting nut. That's
there
how
you
you get
go.
away with that.
There we go. You want to be like, oh, let me go get this warm rag. Don't move. Don't move. Don't look at
Or
it. I got
just leave it. You can just leave it. Get a warm rag for what?
Oh my goodness, we got to move on. We got to move on.
I mean,
Rufus is on borrowed time. Well, I'm on his borrowed
I'm not
time
on borrowed
today.
time. I ain't got nothing to do today, so we can talk. But
I'm not telling your
we not.
business.
This is a 30-minute show
I'm
though.
not telling your
Neither am
business.
I. But I'm just saying
All
this is a
right, so
30-minute
there
show,
we
so
go.
we ain't got all day.
Somebody who should have gotten the warm rag, and I don't like to report on this. Rufus tried to bring it up and take a
Oh,
jab and a stab
wait a
a
minute.
couple of episodes back, but well, the good thing is he's getting help, and I hope that it's real now. And so we're back talking about, Andrew Gillum. And of course, as you know,
Uh,
he's the former mayor of Tallahassee and the
oh,
2018 Florida Democratic gubernatorial nominee. He was, of course, arrested in Alabama. They said he was initially arrested, when they stopped him for erratic driving, okay? And, when they, searched his vehicle, there were drug related items in there. He had some marijuana as well as some substances that tested positive for methamphetamine, and so he had been charged with felony possession of a controlled substance, and along with that misdemeanor drug related charges. So he was released and had to be placed under court ordered drug testing. And so he initially did test negative, right? And
sure
so
did.
prosecutors have later said that he missed a required screening. And that's when he was subsequently tested positive for meth. And so his bond was then revoked. He had to go back to jail. And so now he's been released from jail and ordered into inpatient treatment for at least 30 days. But I think, Andrew, I think you need to stay 120. I don't think 30 days in and out is going to be good for you. That's my commentary. Oh, and his ass has to wear a GPS monitoring device. And so he can't leave that treatment facility without permission. So, Andrew, if you want your freedom, you have to be committed to getting better. Rufus and I, you don't have to give me feedback on this. I don't expect you to. We do have someone in common that knows Andrew that can get in contact with him, but I haven't reached out to him to ask him to do so. But at this point, I think distance is what that I'm going to call Andrew a young man. He's under 50. That's what Andrew needs. And Andrew really needs to sit in this situation and figure out what does he want? How does he want to go forward? Because he will never be out of the public's eye. And we understand that he too is a part of the trio with Angela Rye and that other gentleman on the Native Land podcast. I've supported Andrew when he had his own podcast, following, I think, the initial scandal in Florida. But, come over to this side. Rufus is closer to 50 than I am, Andrew, so I know you all would have more in common than me. Rufus just celebrated a birthday.
So
You all, so
shady.
tell him
So shady.
tell him happy birthday. He celebrated a birthday was it Wednesday or Thursday? It was Wednesday, right?
I think my birthday was on Friday.
Oh my goodness, I really got that jacked up. My birthday is gonna be on this coming Thursday. Age is a beautiful thing, but Andrew needs a real group of friends. This has got to be challenging. His children are at the age to where they can pick up, a cellular device, an iPad or anything, and really Google their father's name and see these headlines. And so, if not for them, it starts with yourself. Andrew has got to get this together and decide again. It's his choice, right? I think Rufus
Correct.
has, in his career, you've interacted with people that make choices, and if they don't make choices, something happens to them.
I'd like to add in my personal life as well. I grew up in a household. Well, not grew up, but anyway, somebody who's very close to me in my personal life was on drugs for a number of years, almost my whole life. And it took her years and years and years to figure out that I don't need to do this anymore. But what ultimately happened is she went to jail. She was in prison. She said, I could do this shit at home because they was in jail getting high. So, yeah, it's a personal choice at the end of the day. And I do hope that Andrew gets help that he wants or needs because it's unfortunate seeing him fall from grace this fast. Like the whole scandal with him and the meth and shit happened, what, 2 years ago? Or was it three? 2 or 3 years ago. So just for him to fall from grace that hard and that fast, it's unfortunate to see. And I really hope that he gets the help that he wants and deserves.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll leave that there, and we'll kind of take a pivot. We got a couple of stories in today's lineup that are in Rufus's part of the world, part of the neighborhood. And one thing I wanted to show was the Civic case. So Botham Jean's family was awarded $98.65 million.
Good.
And this is, he was the 26-year-old accountant that was living in Dallas, Texas in September, again, another 2018. In September 2018, former Dallas police officer Amber Geiger entered his apartment mistakenly, believing it was hers, and then she shot and killed him. And she was convicted of that murder in 2019 and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Now, in a subsequent federal civil case, the jury said she was liable for violating his constitutional rights, and his estate has been awarded approximately that $98.65 million. And so roughly $38.65 million is compensatory damages, and $60 million are punitive damages. And so the verdict itself was issued in 2024. So we should not present this as a brand new verdict. But pretty much they've been authorized to start collecting on that judgment. And so,
The question I have is that money come from the city of Dallas or where? Or do we
that
know?
I'm unsure of, but I would
I'm I,
believe so.
I'm sure it is because
Yeah.
I'm sure Amber Geiger doesn't have how much did you say?
It's
I'm sure
ninety-eight
she
point
don't.
sixty-five million
I
dollars.
know
Yeah.
she doesn't have $98 million. So good for her for,
Hmm.
or good for the family for winning that money though.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And while we're in Dallas, one of my favorite rappers, I be up here in Philly. Remember, one of the
Oh,
greatest
you talking
cities in
about
the
Big X the
world.
plug?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was your
Yeah.
favorite rapper or
I
one
said
of them.
one of my,
I
did
said
not
one
say
of them.
favorite. Future is a
I
favorite.
added. Did you not hear me add at the end? But come on.
Mm-mm. His ass got arrested. And so
Sure did.
he was supposed to be going to a concert. So real name being Xavier Landon. Now that's a little cute name. Big extra plug, Xavier
I've
Landon.
always loved the name Xavier.
It occurred in Denton County, and he faces multiple charges, and some of those include drug and weapons related offenses. Now, they found a little bit of marijuana and a firearm, on him during the traffic stop, and you know, it's just unfortunate. As this came out, he had experienced other arrests prior to this for a little bit of weed and some fire. Brother, put it on somebody else. Make
Get
sure
a
it's at the
driver.
location, yeah, where you going. Don't have it on your person. I won't say that he's targeted because just as we saw in the previous story, sometimes people drive erratic. You're trying to get to a place. I'm like, of all times, you getting pulled over. What's going on? Rufus, why would a police officer just be pulling people over?
In order to do a traffic stop, you have to have a legal Damn. Now I'm tripping on my words. A legal reason for contact. So a legal reason for contact means that I can't just pull you over because I see that you black and you're driving a car because that's not a reason to pull nobody over. So I'd have to have a reason like you failed to signal on the turn, you failed to signal on the lane switch, you ran the red light, you were speeding, something like that. I can't just pull you over because your car is red. That doesn't make any sense. So a lot of a lot of times when you pull somebody over, a lot of officers they want to get inside your vehicle and
Mm,
look for other stuff.
mm,
So if they pull you over and they smell alcohol, that's a reason to get you out the car. Once they get you out the car, they arrest you, they can search your car.
mm.
So you just have to be cognizant of what you're doing. Like if you know you're intoxicated, I would advocate to get an Uber or a taxi or have somebody drop you off. Like if you're drinking and driving, you could kill somebody, but if you're thinking about an arrest, it could just lead down a whole another path of things that you had no idea. Like you got a
Mm.
gun in the car, it just could be a myriad of circumstances. So I would say take an Uber or a taxi if you're gonna be intoxicated while driving.
Right, yourself a driver. I know they advertise this black car service up here, but he's from Texas, right? Like the
Yeah, I
Dallas
believe.
area.
Yeah, he's from somewhere in
I'm
Dallas.
sure he has an unemployed cousin that would love to just drive, you know,
Perhaps.
Mr. Xavier around. I gotta drive Zay around today. Your ass needs. He don't ever need to be behind the wheel again. That's what I'm saying.
I,
Get your
I,
even that realtor with the BBL and the lipo gun stunner. Les Estuche or whatever his name is, Les Dunn, whatever. He got a fucking driver. So why does
See,
and I know Big Extra Plugs is doing more numbers than him. I'm sure. I think he pulls in.
I
I
don't
know
know.
over a
Real estate make
million
a
a
lot of
year.
money.
He pulls
Okay.
over a million, but I'm sure Big Extra Plug does more than that million a year. But that guy has a driver.
Hmm.
So brother, just you get from behind that wheel. And I'm gonna keep it in Texas. This is not one of our stories, but I wanted to talk about. I woke up to all of these scenes. So it's NFL preseason, and former Houston Texan quarterback Deshaun Watson, they do the after game show and interaction with the press. Now, if you're familiar with the Cleveland Browns situation, that's what Shadur Sanders is. And so Deshaun has pretty much said, "Oh, it's personal." They said, "Well, what about your display on the field? It's personal." And I'm just gonna keep that between me and my family, but we already know these are the same people that cheered for me when I got injured, on the
Mm.
field, and he was like, "It's personal." Well, he's saying it's personal because he was accused at some point of, uh, it was several women in massage parlors. I don't know what the fuck was going on with Deshaun, but I'm like, me, there's a way you can go pay for that if you want that part of attention. Now he's now married to a Houston starlet, um, but he transitioned from the Texans up to the Cleveland Browns. Hadn't played, got over $200 million contract, and I think he's at the end of that. Rufus, where and it's all guaranteed money. But in his thing, he said it's personal. No, brother, you just ain't playing. It ain't
Hmm.
good. Shador did well in the first half of the game yesterday against the Buffalo Bills, and they were 7 to, I can't remember, it was 30 something. But they lost. But
Hmm.
everybody's cheering for Shador. Rufus is known in some personal conversations of myself. I was like, shit, I'm the Shador Sanders of higher education right now. It's like, goddamn, when am I gonna catch a break? But nonetheless, man, just I wanted to sneak that in today. We didn't have an official sports story, but that has kind of dominated my timeline. It's something that I shared with Rufus, and not to speaking of mix-ups.
Uh-oh. What we mixed up at? What
This
happened?
next story is really disturbing. So, some people had gone to a hospital for routine procedures and allegedly ended up with life-changing injuries. So, the incident had occurred at Ascension St. Thomas Hospital in Midtown Nashville, right, Tennessee. Four patients undergoing joint replacement procedures were impacted. The patients were supposed to receive spinal anesthesia. So instead, they received the wrong medication. Now, the hospital acknowledged that the incident originated in its pharmacy. One patient was a 72-year-old lady by the name of Glenda Dorton. She was undergoing knee replacement surgery. Now, her family that she was just supposed to receive boof. Erica's not on this show right now, so it's boof. I can never pronounce medicine. Buficacinine. Instead, she received a potassium containing medication. Ooh, really stuck. So she experienced some severe symptoms after the medication was administered, and she's now paralyzed from the chest down. Another
Wow.
patient also suffered paralysis. And then there was another patient who is now required to be on a fucking ventilator.
Wow.
Now, the hospital has not publicly disclosed the full medical condition of all four of these patients, and so they're still under investigation. And,
I hope these people file for a malpractice lawsuit, and I hope there's an investigation by whatever board governs hospital medical care, because I don't know what it is, but there needs to be some type of investigation done.
my takeaway, brother, is just stay healthy as
I mean,
much
yeah,
as you
that's true.
can,
That's true as well.
as much as whatever. While Rufus is approaching 50,
Oh my
I'm
God,
approaching
I'm not
40.
approaching 50.
We're both, age is a beautiful thing, and I'm grateful for it, because the opposite of it is your ass is out of here.
That's true.
But as much as you can, because the food, I don't know if anybody has said this, but I'm sure somebody said the food is killing us. Even Chick-fil-A, I saw a video,
The
and I've
food is
noticed, I
killing
said they got
us.
3D printed meat. This is not real chicken anymore, you all.
Mhm.
Everyone is taking that lab grown. We say it's lab grown.
Everything.
This shit, it is not real, and so it's unfortunate. We ain't even put a story in here about, since the FDA has relaxed a lot of things, all of these goddamn recalls on these
Thanks to
foods.
Trump.
It is just, this is a land with no fucking regulations and no rules. So, we could have an entire episode just dedicated to the decisions out of the White House and how they're impacting us. And maybe we'll do that in the future and bring on Cousin Lewis, since he's a political science you know,
Hmm.
professor. So, he could speak from that angle. But uh, Rufus, I just, anything else you want to add to that?
No, yeah, like you said, stay healthy, but the hospitals need to take accountability for this, and there needs to be an investigation.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting, disgusting. Just like the one where the granny had. Did they give her? It was some kind of patch, and she was high. It's a lot going
What?
on. We'll have to
What?
cover that story. I'll find that one and we'll put that on for next episode. Yeah, they gave her the wrong patch, and she was high, and the family wasn't trying to sue, but we'll add that in, you all, next time. And while we're at it, the Florida governor race. This is proving that what racism is always going to take precedence over anything. And so, if you think
In
about
these
it,
here United States of
yeah,
America, absolutely.
Byron Donalds is the Republican nominee. We know that Ron DeSantis has been term limited, and so his seat had become open. And so David Jolly, who used to be a Republican, has now turned Democratic, and so he got the Democratic nomination.
Mm.
So now, if you look at all of the feedback from regular voting Republicans, they're now saying, well, I guess I'll vote Democrat, because guess what? They can't fathom voting for a black person
That's
regardless.
insane.
So
That's insane.
racism just,
I wonder
and
what his policies. I wonder if his policies stayed the
I
same.
don't
That's
I don't think they give
interesting.
a fuck in Florida. They just want it
Yeah,
white.
they don't give a fuck about. Yeah, they want a white man, and it's got to be a white man.
So
Or
Andrew,
which Ron DeSantis was he's white presenting, but that name DeSantis tells me he's not white.
they don't give a
But
fuck, bro.
that's shocking too.
Cubans come down there. So
Yeah, they
so
assimilate.
if our dear friend, our Rufus and our dear friend, listens, send this note to Andrew, brother, let it go. I listened to a sermon 2 days ago talking about letting it go. Just let it go, because even with this, a black man got the Republican nominee, and Florida said, we're jumping ship. We're going to go over here with the white Democrat.
That's
Andrew,
crazy.
it is not you. If you wanted to win, you should have been in a blue state. I'm not going to say that. It's not a possible. Your chances were greater in a blue state, but this just shows, Andrew, it wasn't you. And we're assuming that this was attached to his 2018 loss for governor, but it is not you, Andrew. Even now, with this bigoted Byron Donalds getting the nomination, the white voters in Florida are saying, no, we don't want it. So,
That's
in your
crazy.
situation, Andrew, was 8 years ago. They still don't want it. So, you get the help you need, rise above that. And some people, when I've said, oh, well, Andrew can still run for office, and not to make this an Andrew story, but I still think what's the guy say it, Rufus?
Marion Barry in D.C. got
You
caught
knew it.
doing crack in the fucking
Yeah.
mayor's office, and he still got
Mm-hmm.
reelected years later. But
A
yeah,
little dope ain't never hurt
every
nobody.
everybody deserves a second chance.
Yeah, he can still win. You can go be governor of somewhere, if
Texas.
ugh, No. You trying to take him out of this world, brother. You're not gonna do that to him. You trying to take him out of this world. And no one in the
Do you realize there's
world
only been 3 black
loves
elected
me
governors in our American history?
more. That's why I was trying to get my ass to Maryland. Love him. Frat
There's only
brother.
been
Love
3
him.
black elected governors in the country. That's crazy to me. In 2026.
We love you, Westmore. Hey. We love you.
Okay.
And no one in this world. This is our last story. It's a feel-good story. We like to close out our show with a wonderful feel-good story.
I hope it's funny.
Anita Baker is teasing
Lord.
new
I
music.
thought we was tired of her.
I've seen her 3 times live in my life. And it was when she went Hollywood. I'm not saying now. Anita looked good with that same black dress, that little shawl that she have on, those little run-old patty melt heels. She was singing then, right? Y'all turned Anita Hollywood, got her singing in these glamorous jumpsuits and shit, and now the heifer don't even want to turn around and sing to us. She walked out on the stage in the first 15 minutes and told our bitch asses, y'all ready to go night-night? That's what I tell my grandchild. Ready to go, bitch, we in Vegas, Anita, and I was so disappointed. I turned to my then partner and I was like, this some bullshit. We done flew from across the country, paid money to eat, paid money for wonderful lodging accommodations to get down here at this concert. And I think at that night, remember, a lot of the celebrities were popping in. Was Selena Johnson there all night? I think Selena Johnson was there all night, but Lil Wayne, the pop, that was the thing to do. You know, they were flying in, they were seeing Anita too.
To see old Anita.
That heifer said, are you ready to go? And played with us the entire, and she kept saying it the whole night, time to go night-night.
That baby was tired. She was tired.
Night-night. Time to go night-night. She kept saying it you all throughout the entire show. So no, I will not. I will take her studio album. But I'm not fucking with going to see Anita live no more. Now, maybe if she was kind of, what do they call those festivals? If she's kind of jumbled in with everybody else and her set time is from 8 to 8:45, yes, for that, because she going to go get that check and she got to get off. And so that means I'm going to get 4 good songs in that 45 minutes to an hour, but not going to a dedicated Anita comes on stage at 8 for her to come the fuck back out, perform with her back to the audience for the entire, because she's talking to her band the whole
back
time.
To the audience.
Yeah, that girl is singing and talking to her background singers, and I'm like, Anita, this is just not cool. So
I want my $32 back.
Fuck that. We paid more. I think them tickets, and that was in the fucking balcony, because he was like, I don't care to sit on the floor and be up close. So I was like, well, we just gonna be up close from afar. So I got us like the first seats in the balcony where you could kind of see out or whatever. But I think Erica was there with her mom. We out like this. You see what I'm saying? Like, people even that I knew, people like, you know, you sit down, they'll be like, oh yeah, I flew from Florida. I flew from
They traveled to come see this girl with her back to the
I flew from
audience.
Charlotte, and the bitch gonna say, y'all ready to go night night.
She ready to go to bed, baby. She tired. Mother is tired.
I'm ready to go. Rufus, get back to what you was doing. I didn't tell the world what you was doing. You should be proud of me. So in our private chat, you
Thanks
like,
for that.
yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna call you right after this, though.
Secret. You can keep.
We
a
all know
secret.
you can't, but I appreciate you for not telling my business on here this morning.
Because I wanted to open up in my body.
I know you did, because I felt it. I felt it in my spirit. I know you did.
And just rag on you and be like, yeah, but I didn't. And so I'm growing. You know, me approaching 40, like you're approaching 50. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Age is a beautiful thing.
Age is a beautiful thing.
So you all have a great day.
And happy early birthday to Craig.
Thank you.
His birthday's next week.
Thank you. I'm grateful. Every day is a birthday.
You the birthday.
So, grateful for that. So yeah, we'll chit chat. You all have a good rest of your Sunday. Bye.
Bye.